Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at more relationship stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. My husband may have cheated on me with my dead best friend and had an affair, baby. I don't even know where to start. The past 6 months have been an absolute cluster and it only seems to be getting worse. My best friend since elementary school, who I'll call Alice, passed away in February from cancer. She had a 2-year-old daughter who went into the custody of her mum after she passed away, who I'll call Alexis. Last month, Alexis showed up on our doorstep unannounced, telling my husband he needs to take responsibility for his child and either take custody or start finally paying child support. She says that Alice had never told her when her daughter was born who the father was, but didn't want anything to do with him. To answer the inevitable, Alice was a traveling nurse and made a lot of money, which is the only reason I can think of for why she didn't go for child support. During this conversation, my husband had the worst panic attack he's ever had, so we had to end the conversation before I could get more details. My husband's story is, I don't even know. He said that Alice's daughter is probably his, but that it isn't what I think. Almost 3 years ago, we threw a large housewarming party as we just moved into our dream home. After I finally finished residency and was set to make real money for once. Alice was in town and set to be at the party, but I was called into work before she got there. I didn't get back till after 3 a.m. Party was winding down. My husband was passed out upstairs and Alice had already left the party, which at the time I did find strange as we hadn't seen each other in months. My husband claims he woke up in the middle of the night to Alice on top of him, but he passed out again before he could say anything. He claims he never told me because he was worried I wouldn't believe him, which I don't know if I do. He showed me some texts he sent his best friend the next day asking for his advice about him thinking someone assaulted him. But if he cheated, he could have had that conversation as evidence, especially since he never said Alice specifically. Ever since the party, he has been very distant with Alice. And after she had a daughter, he would even find excuses not to be around the house when she would visit at all. I don't know if that's because he cheated or if Alice did actually assault him and this was his trauma response. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I've known Alice since we were children and she has never come across as that kind of person. But I've also known my husband for over a decade and he's not once ever given the inclination of a cheater. He's an attractive guy and I've seen the looks he gets at the gym and he's never even given more than a glance. What the hell should I do? How do I figure out what the truth is when Alice isn't even around to defend herself? She never even implied she liked my husband, let alone want to sleep with him. I told my husband he needs to get a DNA test before anything is decided on the child's part. But in the meantime, he needs to move out while I think about what I'm going to do here. Oh my gosh. I think the husband's telling you the truth. But also, it doesn't matter how long you know a person. You'll never truly know them. You know, even if you've known your best friend for like 30 years, you don't truly know them. I mean, we've heard many stories of best friends of like 20 years cheating with their best friend's partner, right? So the years that they've known each other doesn't really matter. And I feel like if it was an affair, Alice would have tried to make it known that something happened between her and this person's husband. Because, you know, homewreckers, they always want to just ruin a relationship. But because she assaulted him, she couldn't, you know? She couldn't say anything. But yeah, we will never know now. And you know what's more telling is the fact that Alice literally took the secret to her grave. Right? I feel like people wouldn't take an affair secret to their grave. They would tell. But she outwitted him, so obviously she's going to take that secret to the grave. So which one's more believable, right? Which secret is more believable that you take to the grave? Well, I guess the only thing they can do now is just get a DNA test. And just wait it out. And just trust your husband. Because I feel like now, since nothing can be proven, you might as well trust your husband until he proves you otherwise. You know what I mean? My parents are accusing my wife, but their story doesn't make sense. Should I confront them? Me and my wife got into a fight 2 weeks ago and I had a mental breakdown in our kitchen, then threw 2 glasses and broke them. Wife was in our living room, then I left the house and slept 3 days in our office. After that, I called my parents saying I don't want to go back home and I don't want to stay at their place until our problems are solved. We had 2 kids. My wife created a WhatsApp group several years ago to send our kids' photos to the grandparents. The group consists of my wife, me and my dad and my mum. My dad and my wife never liked each other from the day they met. Today my father came up to me and said my wife deleted 5 years of photos from the group. He showed me his phone and all photos, including texts, are gone. My mum said the same things and her phone was the same. My father has access to both phones. Then I checked my phone and everything was intact. All photos and texts were there. I messaged my wife and asked her if she did such a thing, which I added I don't believe that she did. She denied it and said how would I have the photos if she deleted the photos. My father has a character that would pull this kind of thing, but he wouldn't damage my marriage further just because he doesn't like my wife. Yet his accusation makes no sense. I'm not an expert, but I don't record what's up to allow this kind of targeted removal thing. Are my parents provoking me against my wife? They are so nice to me since I returned, and I don't want to confront them over a thing they didn't do. Yet I don't want to be manipulated. Yes. I mean, you just said your dad doesn't like your wife. And he's the one starting it. So yes, what's going on in your mind? Seriously. Because what the hell? You just said you have all the photos and the text messages, right? That just means your father and your mum deleted them themselves and then tried to put it on your wife. Because if you have the photos and the text messages, that just means she didn't delete them. But your parents did. So simple. Jeez. Anyways, I feel like this person and his parents are the problem because he literally threw 2 glasses and broke them. Boy, no matter how angry you get, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that when you guys are fighting. You shouldn't throw glasses and break them. Nobody should do that. Okay, if you do that, then that's low-key abusive behavior. What if someone gets hurt? No matter how angry you are, just leave, okay? Leave the room. My ex-fiance broke up with me after 10 years and remarried in less than 1 year to a hot Latina girl. My world collapsed. Why her and not me? My nightmare began last year when we got engaged after being together for 10 years. We had the best time in South America. However, since August, he started to become distant. He didn't want to get involved in our wedding preparations or throw an engagement party. Then he landed an amazing new job and had to go to Vancouver. When he returned, everything changed. I knew he was breaking up with me the moment I saw him. We had our ups and downs during the relationship. He was messy and struggled with anger issues. While he told me he was no longer attracted to me because I had gained weight. I'm Caribbean and he is white. I tend to gain weight, I know, but I tried everything and nothing worked. He broke up with me and I was devastated, but what came next was even harder to bear. He had a new girlfriend just a month later. A woman in her late 20s, skinny with lighter skin than mine, and what many men would consider hot. Personally, I don't think she is. I consider myself quite attractive. My friends often tell me that I'm sexy, capable, and many other things. However, in our final years together, he couldn't maintain an erection with me because he was no longer attracted to me. This June, he married her. What I had hoped for all these years, she achieved in just months. I'm still deeply hurt. I resent her for taking what was once mine. How can I cope with this pain? I'm still so hurt and struggling to move on. Why did he marry her and not me after all these years? Girl, you need to move on. Because that man is not yours. You just gotta take it and move on and become a better version of yourself, you know? Many men will want you. Alright, you don't need a man who didn't want you. He broke a relationship of 10 years and then gets into a relationship a month later and then marries her. Months later? Girl, here's the red flag. And you should be happy that you dodged a bullet. Girl, I just feel like so many people deserve so much better, but they just don't know. They keep on clinging onto someone who's just so bad for them. And like everyone can see that the person is bad and just a red flag. But they keep on clinging onto that person. Like, I don't know why. And please remove yourself from social media so you don't see the photos. Okay, so you don't go back into the past. Just move on, girl. Just move on. Start a new life. Alright, just move on. Be better and make him regret it. That's all you can do. Ignore him, block him, do everything that you can do so you don't ever have to see his face ever again, and just improve on yourself. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!